I really want it to be set up over here. That's not bad. You can see me. House looks crazy right now because I just moved in, but it's cute. My eyes look pretty. Hey, Amanda.
Hello. I'm trying to mute myself in between so it's not
No, it's okay.
crazy.
I think I'm going to move the camera for now and put it up here because your girl can't see much down there. Is it charged? Oh, we're at 67%. We got some juice. Juice. Okay. That's way better. I'll move this light because it's not even necessary now. Unless I move it here. Whoop. Nah, this light's not necessary. We don't need it. We don't need it.
It's too much.
Influencers are very nice. What?
The light was it was too much.
It's too much. It's all right. I'll figure out another stand for it. But we are making baby spinach and ricotta pasta. It's supposed to be way healthier. Is this like better? And then I have chicken, sausage, tomato, basil. So we'll see how that goes. Trying to have a better diet. Certain cheeses, aren't good, but like your girl don't be full sometimes, and that's irritating. Influencers are kind of mad at me, which is interesting. Let me see, live chat. I'm trying to see. I guess I can't edit the chat.
Is it on this time?
Central spam may not be visible. Yeah, it's on, but I can't figure out how to edit it. It's okay, you guys. Anyways, so basically, I was talking about the problem of influencers acting like reporters, and somebody brought up Oliver because they're so obsessed with him and the way that he looks and don't really care about what he has done or what he's saying or doing. And basically, I got a lot of like hate for it. A lot of hate, which I don't care, and nobody can ever stop me from speaking. But just because you are sexually into a man, just because you're sexually fascinated by a gay man, does not mean my point is wrong. I saw that in the comments, and it was interesting because he's actually on YouTube now with a video from a news reporting, basically saying Americans stuck in Dubai, no, stuck in Qatar or whatever. That's what they're doing. They're putting, the news media is asking influencers to send in videos and to be on their network. And basically, a lot of people were just saying they're attracted to him, very stupid comments. And then other comments were saying paid actor. I love those comments because they saw through the bullshit. They were just like, yeah, no, he don't care. He doesn't care at all. He doesn't care about what's happening. He just wants to have promotion. And he is an actor. He mocks the housewives, and that is his gig. He's an actor. He's an actor. And he just wants brand deals, and he wants to be seen. And to even say, like, you see on his TikToks and his Instagram, you see him be like, check out at, I think, 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be on the news. Like, the way he says it, it's so tone deaf to what's happening in that country. And I find it very sad because I did like that content that he made about the housewives, but you wanting to be a news reporter because your dumbass decided that you were going to be a Nepo baby and go to an Indian wedding. Yeah, no, you could have taken a different route. I don't want to hear people say they couldn't take a different route. If anything, you could have went through Delhi and went all the way to even Toronto. But guess what? Your credit card doesn't link up with that, does it? So, it's really selfish. It's really selfish, to think about your credit card, to think about your daddy's credit card and where you're going to have to go with it instead of actually caring about, Dad, I know you have a credit card with this company, but this is what's happening in that country and I don't want to go there. You could have said that, but he didn't. He just goes. He doesn't care. He's like the dumbest guy I've ever met. But my point is not to even throw shade at this creator. It's more about the fact that a lot of women are so obsessed that the way this gay man looks, they don't care about what is going on in that country and how he does not care. it just becomes have some empathy. And some influencer, a lot of I don't know why gay black men just don't like me, and I'm okay with it. I just let it roll off my shoulder at this point. But mainly the ones that care about money a lot, money for sex work. And there was an influencer on YouTube that got so upset and was like, "You're misguided. You're jealous." And I'm like, "Jealous of what? Because I don't want to go to Dubai? You're mad at me because I don't want to go to Dubai? I'm allowed to have morals and integrity. If you don't have that, cool, let that be you. But when you're stuck in a country with your bum ass and I'm not helping you out, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad because I don't have empathy, because I'm not giving my money and I don't care. Ha ha, good for you. You're stuck in Dubai. Stay there. The place is so much better. Stay there. But guess what? You don't want to stay there because it's not that great. Losers. I can't. I'm so frustrated because the fact that this person decided to call me jealous. Jealous of what? Why would I be jealous of a place where women can't even look your way without going to jail? Why? Hi, Abby. We're talking about how influencers are mad because my post went viral on TikTok about how a lot of influencers are all whoop-de-doo. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. But they're not realizing that you should know that it's happening and you can't believe it's happening because of your privilege. And that's it. Thank you. I appreciate it. And that's it. So once again, I feel like people feel judged, but this is a human rights aspect. And the amount of videos I've seen of the porta parties where they're like poop parties basically, terrible sex parties, terrible things, women, broken limbs, everything coming out of these places in Dubai. They don't pay taxes. Like, Dubai is not a good place. Rich people just want to go there because they don't have to pay taxes, but now you're stuck. And what people are doing is using this moment as a TikTok. People are literally walking through the streets of Dubai and Qatar talking about, look where I'm at. That, like, they're using it as a joke. They're using it as a flex. They're using it as, oh, like, this can get me a lot of views, even though I'm just like a TikToker that shows my life and I'm an influencer. I can actually like act like I'm a news reporter. And that's what Oliver did. And that's why I have an issue, because even in that, I don't even, he probably took the video down. He basically said in one of his videos, when he wasn't taking it serious and he was going to head to the lounge, he was on his story and he was just like, I hope that this doesn't interfere with my trip because my birthday's next week and da da da. He said that. He legit said that. He said, this is so like, this is, how do you say it? This is an inconvenience to his life. People that are dying from missiles and have always been dying from these missiles is an inconvenience to your life. And then you want to act like a news reporter? This is so scary. This is so, he's like an actor. So my point is that a lot of people who associate with him, who either work for him, work with him, a lot of, black women who watch his content have come at me, and I'm like, I didn't even mention his name. That's the crazy part. I did not mention his name. Yes, I'm happy they all stuck. Like, stay stuck. Like, I'm tired of y'all. But I didn't even mention his name. Somebody else mentioned his name, and he was just one of the many Nepo babies that goes to that region for whatever reason. Now, somebody was like, oh, he's going to a wedding. And I said, I don't care if he went to a wedding in India. He could have taken another route. There's so many routes from India by plane that you don't have to go through Qatar. But you need to understand people's credit card. I don't have to know his credit card, but I know about aviation and credit cards and how they work. That specific hub is affiliated with One World. It's affiliated with America. It's affiliated with just the nepotism of it all. Like, he's probably using his daddy's credit card, and that's where he has to go because he wants to fly luxury. You can get luxury out of a poor country. I'm going to say it again. You can get luxury out of a poor country, and this man knows that. Out of a war-torn country, it's seen as like a beautiful thing, actually, for them to be going over there and experiencing luxury while people are dying around them. And at the end of the day, all this guy cares about is brand deals. He doesn't care about what's happening in Qatar. And once again, this is not to put this influencer down, really. It's more so to get people to stop being mean to people who are saying, hey, something's wrong with him. This ain't right. This is hilarious. Like, you're complaining while you're sitting up here in silk pajamas. Like, shut up. Just shut up. Keep doing the influencing thing. Why are you acting like you're a news reporter talking about this is what's happening at this time? Oh my God, this is so scary. I hear noises. Like, you're doing it all for views. You're not doing it because you're actually scared. If you were scared, you would put the fucking camera down. So that's how I feel about it. And I've gotten a lot of hate for the things that I've said about content creators. And I think that definitely shifted because my my TikTok did go viral. I posted it 4 days ago, or whenever this happened. I posted it because I was like, this is insane. I was like, people are complaining while they're sitting in robes, like literally like Turkish robes. You're complaining. Shut up. And it went viral. And you have some people too that are literally making videos in robes to mock what I said. I've seen it. Like they think it's funny, and a lot of people are just like, you guys are so tone deaf to the situation. Of course, make the best situation out of the worst thing, but don't be tone deaf, please. And that was the word I couldn't figure it out, is tone deaf and irony when it comes to these influencers. You literally had somebody say to me, Qatar isn't a place where there's tourism. It's just a place where you take a flight to get to another flight. Excuse me, bitch. You just said a whole country is not worth tourism. You just said a whole country has no culture or customs that you're interested in, so therefore it means nothing to you. But to just take a flight, you just use this. I just use that country for the airport. It's not really a place. It's not a country. There's no people there. Like, are you serious? Like, people are so tone deaf when they're speaking about this issue. That's basically why I think it's going so viral. Influencers in Dubai, like just that headline, because besides them getting paid as well, in Qatar, there are influencers who paid to stay in Qatar. It's just the irony. It's like, let them eat cake is now like having to eat cake. Literally, like they're having to eat the cake, and they're actually afraid, but they're trying to act like they're not. And it's just stupid. People are using this moment for clout, and I don't think that it's a time where you should be. I think you should put the phone down for at least a week and just chill. But the way social media works is when you stop making content, it goes down, and I understand that. But this is like serious, you know? Anyways, that's my thoughts. I said what I said. I'm gonna let Amanda.
You're um yeah, I have a lot. I have a lot to say because like you said, I think too you whether you were the first or the, or second person or whatever to make this video, I feel like after you made your video, I've been seeing so much about this that's like not even funny. And I just think it's like it's kind of uh hilarious because like you said, it's ironic. It's very ironic. And it's this thing of just capitalistic privilege to go to a place, that is known for honestly just horrific crime and trafficking, and, promoting, let me say the G word because they're probably gonna censor that, um, in other countries, in multiple countries. And I think it's like and this isn't new information, like, this has been going on for years and years and years, and I saw this comment talking about that, Dubai doesn't get this wealthy off of just what is there, they're exploitative, and there is a lot of blood under those gold bricks, which is very true, and for these influencers and for not just for influencers, because this is what celebrities do, this is what rich one percenters do as well, is that, they have all this money and they think that money will prevent them from ever experiencing violence, that it will give them the privilege to just not experience it. However, like, money doesn't stop violence at the end of the day, it just stops you from seeing it. It stops you from seeing the things that are going on around you. So that's like you said, like, you can go to a country that has, an insane, amount of social issues like India, and if you spend enough money, you cannot see those issues around you and experience what you want India to be like, which is like kind of crazy. And you could sit here all day long and say that there are good and bad things about every country, which is true. But it's like for rich people, they get to go to these places and kind of never experience that and let themselves be very ignorant towards the fact that there are so many other issues happening in these countries because the money allows them to. And in this, day and age, they don't want to realize that their presence in, in the Middle East right now in these countries is basically the US exploiting them as well, like exploiting them for content almost, like exploiting them for the media, for publishing to say, yeah, our Americans are stuck over there and this is why we attack the Middle East. Look how terrible they are. Like it's exploitative, and they don't want to think that they're a part of this big game. Like, why do you think that they get paid to go to these countries in the first place? This is very like all a game. It's like all
Sorry to cut you
strategic.
off, but I believe he got paid to go to that wedding. Sorry, I just had to
Yes,
say that. I think he got paid to promote
I'm
that
sure he
wedding. You don't even know
did.
if that's his friend. Sorry, that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure they also probably offered to like fly him out there. I'm sure they offered, to give him housing. Like that's usually what they do. Like if they know it, if people know an influencer and they kind of want to promote themselves, they don't necessarily care about like you as a person. They just care about your influence. Because at the end of the day, it's not like he went there and was like took one photo of himself. He probably was like showing this wedding as like an influencer would, made videos. Oh my time in India, my time in India at this wedding, Indian wedding, Indian wedding vlog. You know, mm-hmm. And I don't even know this guy. I don't even know if I've ever seen his face. Probably, but I'm just saying.
You have. He mocks the housewives, and I love those skits. Once again, no shade towards him. This isn't even really about him. It's about people's stupid ass reaction and can't see that he's a
Mm-hmm.
fucking actor.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. Like, you guys, he's a nepo baby, an actor, and he doesn't give a fuck about you guys. Like, but y'all get so mad at Black. You're jealous. You're jealous because you're not a nepo baby. Like, shut up. Shut up.
Mm-hmm. And I think too, even that sentiment, where a lot of the supporters of these people are poor people, like normal people. But it's like the same mindset as like looking up to an influencer or celebrity that would never give you the time of day or has like way more money than you ever will make in your entire life. And you look up to them for some reason as if they're not a part of the problem why you could never get any money. It's like the most ironic thing that like capitalist society has ever done is made us believe that rich people are good people. Meanwhile, they're the ones exploiting us and exploiting countries like this as like vacation homes. Like we see it all the time. Like we see it in the Caribbean, we see it in Hawaii, we see it like everywhere. And now like the Middle East has just become a thing where, because of Dubai, like let me say this, Dubai was put in the Middle East to basically let people go there and vacation and do all these things that they can do, that they can't do in other places because the Middle East was never considered, like you said, a vacation spot. It just wasn't. People don't see it that way. Now they're starting to because, everybody wants to go to Morocco. Everyone wants to go to, you know what I mean? But it's like Dubai became a place like that because your money could afford you an experience, to do things that were, what's the word? Not diabolical. Well, yes, but like debaucherous. You know what I mean? Debauchery. Because often too in the Middle East, like
I agree, but also there needs to be a conversation about how women are treated in Morocco,
yes, I
how
was just gonna
Black
bring
people
that
are
up.
treated in Morocco, how like Sharia law. Like once again, I'm not trying to put
Mhm.
down Islamic people. I'm not trying to put down the Arabic language. I'm not trying to put down Muslim. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to put anyone down. We find negative anything, but literally, when I see so many people being imprisoned in Dubai and we have no clue what they really did. Sorry, I gotta block somebody. What they really did. And Black women, I'm like, why would you go over there? But wait, you want to show yourself in a Maserati next to Abu Dhabi, like you want to show yourself next to the Burj Khalifa, it's about luxury and the fact that it's called like the Mecca for a lot of people in that region or Middle Eastern people. Let me say that to make it a general term. It's not a Mecca. The way women get hit in Dubai. Like literally, it's a part of the culture and sexual abuse. I can't say it, but you know what I'm talking about. I looked up and learned a lot, and have seen a lot from women who are married to men that are from this place, Qatar included. I've met men from Qatar who literally look like Chris Brown and don't want to talk about being Black. Don't want to look. Literally, I lived in Spain, and I was going to class with kids from Qatar, and they hated being Black, and they looked just like Chris Brown for God's sake. And all they did was hold doors open for princes, and that was the luxury of their life. That was a good job. Enough said. I'm gonna let you speak.
It's very true. And I think that people like I was just about to bring that up in that like, most people do not want to go to other Middle Eastern countries because of how it is for like specifically women and going to places alone and whatever. Um And I just think too, like, that's why Dubai has become so popular, like, popularized, is because, like, you think that your money will buy you the safety of, like, not it's like buying the safety that you wish you had to go to, like, these places that you would normally not go to, because that's kind of what it's made to. It's an exploitative experience. However, usually these women who go to these countries, especially women, um, you're a lot of them are being exploited themselves to even get to these countries. So, and that usually involves like ex work, that involves like things like that. Or just for instance, having mad money and giving them something. Like you have to give something to get in, essentially. It's supposed to be elitist, and that's what it is. Because there's no like, there's no good reason that the people who serve you look all the same. And that's really
Yeah,
the thing.
they're either Bangladeshi or Pakistani. I was looking into
Mhm,
the ethnic groups and the working group there, and the biggest
mhm.
medicinal group of doctors is Filipino, actually.
Yeah. And notice how none of the people who are in Dubai are native. There are no native Dubai people. That's not a real thing. It doesn't exist. So everybody who is there is imagined, and the people who come to work there, obviously, like, they look a certain way for a certain reason because they are considered lower class. They will never get to where everybody else is, and that's on purpose. Just like any elitist, capitalist,
And their
country or
skin tone. Did
society.
you notice the men that are wearing the headpieces, which I'm not educated on, but I'm gonna just say the skin color of the men that wear the headpieces and the white and they're in the government chairs. Their skin does not look like the Bangladeshi or Pakistani people who
Yes.
are holding doors for them. No,
Mhm.
no shade. This is not inappropriate. How I'm trying to say this. I'm just saying factually, they don't.
Yeah.
Their skin is literally this color. Why?
It's colorist. They're very colorist, and that comes colorism comes with elitism as well. Like those things are tied together. Because it has to do with racism, and that's why they don't you do not see anybody from Dubai talking about what's happening in Palestine. You don't see anybody in Dubai talking about what's happening in Sudan because they're the ones that are also, you know, making it happen. They're making it happen, and this is a proven fact. So that's why they don't care. It reminds me of DJ Khaled. It reminds me of DJ Khaled because he's Palestinian. Has he ever
Or
talked about it?
French Montana. He married the princess of Dubai, and that's a whole other story. But
Hmm. But specifically, DJ Khaled, right? It's the irony of somebody like him, somebody who is Middle Eastern, he's Palestinian, never once spoken about Palestine, never once. And he is big and ugly and literally rich as hell, and he does not care. And that's why everybody says he's eating all the food that everybody else could be eating right now. Like it's crazy and it's ironic, but that's what greed does to you and what elitism does to you. And that's what everybody in Dubai right now is thinking to themselves is that why is this happening to me? Like I literally saw this video of this white woman, filler lips, typical person that you would see in Dubai, let me say. Typical nepo baby influencer, fillered lips, white woman looking crazy in a white robe in her luxury hotel room, looking out her window, seeing missiles falling from the sky. And she said, "This isn't supposed to be happening here." Imagine saying, "This isn't supposed to be happening here." Where is this supposed to be happening? Who do you think?
someone in the comments was nasty and said that it's supposed to happen in Africa in poor countries. Someone said that.
And that's the problem though, is that that's what these influencers think but do not say. And that's also what they're promoting by this like rhetoric that they're just like, pushing out there for people to be sympathetic towards them. As if they don't have all the money in the world and aren't in the position to be like in the safest place that they are where they are. Like it's so ridiculous. Like you were in a hotel room. Like nobody is looking to even bomb Dubai, like please. But it's just like the fact that you get a taste, not even a taste, a hint of what that violence looks like for other people every day of their lives, and you're all of a sudden you play the victim card as if it was ever about you, but your lives literally promote this violence. Like every day. Every day. So it's just it's very ironic, it's very privileged, it's very capitalist, it's very disgusting, for these people to say that this shouldn't be happening here. I spent all my money in this luxury resort. This shouldn't be happening. Where should this be happening? You want war to that basically says that war should continue somewhere else, just not in front of me, because I paid for it. I paid to not see this stuff. I'm on social media every day so I don't have to see this stuff. So I don't see the world. I don't see reality. That's what they think to themselves every day. And that's why I just hate, like, those rich people are so out of touch with reality because they have paid their entire lives to not experience what everybody else does and what everybody else knows to be true. And it's not that they don't know that this is going on, they don't care. They don't care. People in these luxury hotels making these videos do not care about the violence that's happening, because if they were not stuck there right now, they would never have once said a single word about any of the stuff that is happening in Iran, any of the stuff that's happening in the Middle East, anything that's happening in Africa right now. They would not have said a single word, because and neither would any of their followers, poor or rich. Like, imagine also for their followers to say, "You're so unsympathetic to these people." Okay, but what about everyone else that's actually being bombed? Because I haven't heard of any of these people dying yet. I mean, unaliving yet. Like, I haven't heard that. Have you? Like, I have not heard of one casualty for any of these influencers in Dubai, because I'm sure we would have all heard about it. It has not happened, and it probably won't. Just because of the fact that would really, like, be like, when people bomb, they bomb with intention. Nobody is intentionally bombing Dubai. And I just think it's very
Well,
ironic that
yeah,
it's
I
like,
think I'm gonna correct you. They are because of, I think, Iran and them
mhm,
have an issue because of their support for Israel, actually. So they attacked the airport and US things. So that's a
mhm.
correction.
Okay, yes. But, like, casualty-wise, I have not heard of any casualties for these influencers in Dubai. And maybe I'm wrong, but I haven't heard it. Because if that happened, it would be all over the
No,
freaking news.
they're not attacking the resorts. They're attacking Hamas's poor apartments with poor people,
Exactly.
and airports to stop tourism. Honestly,
Yeah.
when you think about it.
Yes, and I think that's the point, though, is that, like, usually people, like, let me say, Israel and the US attack, like, school buildings of little kids, versus, like, what's it called? Like, anybody in, like, Iran is attacking what, an airport? Like, be for real. I just think it shows a lot. It shows a lot. I have not heard of an influencer dying from any of this. So I think that says a lot. These people aren't scared of dying, in my opinion. They're really not. Like, they want to make a buck. They want to exploit what is happening to them because it's easy. It's so easy, and if they stop making videos, they would stop making money. And it's not even that they need the money. They're just money hungry people. They are greedy. They don't need money.
Can I stop you for a second to talk about
Mhm.
Oliver? Like, everyone's gonna get me, and this wasn't even supposed to be about him. Somebody added him. It was motivated by him because of what I saw. And I was like, bro, you went from mocking the housewives and being such a good actor to I'm gonna show you the day in the life, and I got sponsorship by airlines, and I was like, hold up. And I do my research when I look at these people who say that they're influencers. So basically, I don't know what his dad does, but I think his dad is financially he's wealthy and successful. I don't know what he does, but he doesn't show his mother. That's a little interesting to me. But you can tell that he Oliver is from wealth. And you could tell that's why Candace loves him, because Candace Dillard Bassard is from wealth. She's from wealth. Her family, that's why people really don't like her. I don't like that about her either. But I at least like that she owns it. It's a little different, but hey, to each their own. But Oliver is a man. He's gay and he is attractive. I'm not going to say he's not. He is idealistically, he is attractive, right? Candace is a black woman. So everybody's knocking down her door all the time, regardless of her being a Nepo baby and showing you luxury. They don't like her because she's a Black woman, which is terrible. But I just want to let you know that's the difference. Oh, caramelizing these onions.
That's
Hold up.
a
Sorry.
good point.
This is smelling good. Anyways, but yes, Candace even commented on his post saying, I hope you're okay. And Candace loves Oliver because it's the same dynamic. Oliver is from a rich household. And I even love when I watch his content, because I'm not from a rich household, but I love that for him. And I love that for me in the future. I was like, I can do that. That can be me. I want to do that for my family. I want generational wealth. But when you notice with Oliver's content, I'm gonna say something. You could tell he has no job. One, when I saw him hop in that Maserati and say, "Today, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym and then I'm going to work." What is work? Dude doesn't have a job. That's a lie. And if he does have a job, it's because of his dad. In my opinion, I don't know this for a fact. I'm not trying to put facts out there, but I'm saying, like, people, can you put your brain, your noggin on for a second and say, hey, this guy has a Maserati and he's in this big house and he's always showing off luxury. Who the fuck is he? Who is Oliver? We don't even know him, but we know that he has all the time in the world to sit there, watch the housewives mock them, and relate in elitism. They relate to him. Literally, that's why they love him. Let's compare Brooke Ashley. Brooke Ashley is a Black, smart, beautiful, luxurious content creator. But I feel like the ladies have so much smoke for Brooke Ashley versus Oliver. You ever notice that? Like, Oliver is always doing the like hosting, and he's basically like a baby Andy. He's a baby Andy, but he's Black. And I honestly I could see him being on the couch, like giving these talks like Nicki Minaj. To be honest with you, no shade. But anyways, so you have him and his luxuriousness, and people love that. And you had people commenting on my post saying, he's my client. How dare you talk about him? And I'm like, I didn't even say his name. He was just one of the many. And he's still going on with, I could tell he's doing one post a day because he realized that you're fucked up for that. You were insensitive, but you can't stop. Like, think about it. Imagine, is there a week where Oliver's not posting? Can he go a week without it? No. Also, he doesn't need the money from any of this. He's just using his platform of showing you what you don't have, which is fucking luxury. He's showing you the day in the life of being rich. He doesn't really have any purpose. So now it feels like he's found a purpose, but he's so tone deaf about it. You can be activist all you want. I love that for that content creator, Oliver. But it's not about activism. He's not talking about the people that are dying. He's talking about like, oh, well, this is what's happening. I'm still stuck here. Thank you to like all these airways that help me in these hotels. Child, there are people that are literally losing limbs everywhere. We're looking for surgeons and people are so worried about you getting home. You are the last person we care about and should care about. I have empathy, but I don't have empathy when people are tone deaf. I figured out what the word is. It's tone deaf. Like, it's so weird. You're watching someone who's causing the problem talk about the problem, and people are just like, yes, queen. Oh my God, a gay man. Yes, I agree with everything you said. If y'all don't, you guys are Black women. I love you guys, but what's going on? You're Black women. No. Oliver's not even honestly the problem at this point. Y'all are the problem. And that's what was getting me tight. Not even him. I was like, he's just a Nepo baby using his nepotism and showing out all this luxury and making some money. What promotions. He's making a bag off of dumb people. That's what Trump did. I'm not even gonna hold him. Do what you gotta do. But for me, it is kind of sad to see Black women be mad at me and call me jealous. And gay men tell me that I'm jealous. Jealous of what? I'm not stuck in Dubai. I guess saving my money kept me safe. I'm not stuck in Dubai, but I'm not going to pay you or give you empathy to get you out. That's what I said.
I think the concept of us having to pay for rich influencers to get out of Dubai makes no fucking sense to me. It's so bewildering that poor or middle class people could like look at an influencer and be like, "Oh my God, I want to give you more money." Like, what on earth? Like, these influencers should not be even asking people for advice or help. Like, it's so bizarre to me that this is the case, that or like where we have come to. Like, let me say America it's not just America, but America has done a really good job at making stupid poor people think that rich people are everything. Like that we need to give them our money. We need to like be generous. That we need to solve our own problems. Like it's so ridiculous. And that's the same thing that they do even with like this is unrelated, but like even with like global warming and recycling, the way that they make individual consumers, especially poor consumers, regular consumers, feel that we are responsible for saving the earth when literally the people who are destroying it are rich people with their private jets flying around from like freaking Albany to Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like this is they are destroying the planet and so are corporations, and we have to pay for it. Us. We didn't even do that. It's like no amount of us, reducing our carbon footprint is going to ever help with the damage that they have done to the world. And it's the same thing with them doing these, exploiting these countries and going abroad and acting like, we need to you guys need to help us get out. Like we're stuck. Feel bad for us. Like even though we bought a plane ticket here and it was like thousands of dollars because I flew like Emirates on like first class and like I had a bed the whole time. I don't even remember the flight. Like you want us to feel bad for you and pay to get you out? They probably are making GoFundMe's right now. Like they're probably like this shit is bewildering to me. It's like it's actually crazy. And I know you wanted to talk about too how the UK is like, flying people out of
Yeah, they are. If
Dubai
you want
right
to look up
now.
an article, you can. I don't mind. They are flying people back. I believe it's the UK. I think I could look it up on my computer, but your Wi-Fi is better than mine.
How do
I
I
just
do
moved
that?
in. Um, you don't have a laptop?
Oh, it's upstairs. Um
Girl! All right, I'm gonna get my laptop out, but you can keep talking.
I'll talk about it though. But yeah, you told me that the UK is basically getting people out on flights, and they're kind of being pretty secretive about it. But that does say a lot, and that's kind of what I was going into about the whole these influencers they're so stupid they don't even realize that they are also being exploited by the US government right now because the US loves to make the Middle East look bad in whatever way that they can. And they're going to continue doing that. You know, no matter what amount of violence that the US has provoked or promoted them or caused themselves, they will always make somebody else look worse. And Americans eat that up every time. They eat it up. And they get so scared and fear mongered that it's just like y'all can't even understand anything anymore. Like the average American intelligence is so low, unfortunately. And that's the reason why it's just so easy to exploit people. Like it's so easy to exploit poor people in this country because they have no education. And the education that they do have is just bad.
No, I'm dealing with the taxes for the education I've gotten, and I got a letter in the mail saying I have to pay taxes for a scholarship I got. And I'm like, I'm being punished for having 3 degrees. A debt isn't even enough. And you got people out here who are literally spending up so much in credit card, committing insurance fraud, for God's sake. But I'm the problem. Like, I get so mad. That's why when I think about people like Oliver, I'm like, y'all should be paying people's debt off. Like, you literally are spending money for nothing. Like, and people are gonna get mad at me and say, you shouldn't be so mean to them. They shouldn't have to pay for da 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 da. And I'm like, no, they should. They should, because at the end of the day, everyone made a decision whether they were going to get out or stay in. I agree with that. But for me, it's like you just have influencers that are just showing you luxury because you haven't seen it, like Trump is doing. And I think that's why Trump won the elections because we're poor allegedly, right? And we don't see these things. So therefore, when they show you it, you think that, this is how you should live. And I literally was just thinking about how, like, I'm tired of people telling me how I should live. I really am tired of it. Like, I'm tired of people telling me that I should live this way. Like, you're not doing things right. When it's like, at the end of the day, I have an apartment right now, and you will have people telling me that you need a better apartment. So whatever you do is never going to be enough for anybody when you really think about it. Like, I could literally have a Maserati, and you're going to tell me you should have a Bentley. It's never going to be enough. So live life how you fucking want to live it. I'm trying to go to Bali tomorrow, so I say what y'all want. If y'all want to call me jealous because I don't want to go to Dubai and I don't want to, and it's interesting because it's gay black men who are calling me jealous. And once again, like I'm sad because I'm a part of the queer community, and the fact that gay black men always hand it to me when it comes to their luxury, and I'm like, and not all gay black men. I get along with theater gay black men, like gay black men that are like about being themselves and who they are. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is loading. But like I get along with those people, but I don't get along with people who care about money and sex work. They hate me too. I don't know why. Even it doesn't even be gay black men, just gay men who care about money and sex work and being sugar babies. They look at me and they want to like literally like I don't know, they want to like rip my hair out. Like I think because of my body and the way I am and I'm really sweet and I didn't do what they're doing, like they're really mad at me. But it's like, come on. There was a guy who literally like he had 60K subscribers. And I was like, you wrote this whole paragraph to get deleted. Stupid. And it's like, why'd you do that? You wrote a whole paragraph to get deleted on a small content creator. People attack me as a small content creator, believe it or not. I get attacked a lot online by big content creators. Mind you, if I was a big content creator, like I think her name is Mawe, she's a big content creator, very famous. She does not get attacked by these people. And not because, we talk about anything different. We talk about the same things in different ways. But it's the fact of the matter that she has such a big backing, they're going to bark and pounce on you. I don't have a big backing. And I love y'all, but I'm just saying I don't. I don't have that yet. I love my people. I don't care that I don't have that. I love my small group of people, and we will fight no matter what. But it's like they know that I have a small backing. So they bully me, and I'm like tired of it. Specifically when it comes to gay black men, I'm tired of y'all doing that to me. I'm tired.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with like just the capitalist mindset. Anybody who is like a capitalist, they feel like people who are just not doing that are never doing enough. Like you said, like, it could be one thing of like, oh, you're not living alone yet, you're living with your parents. Yeah, you should do more. And then you do more. You get an apartment, you get a place by yourself. Then it becomes, oh, your place isn't nice enough. Then you should do this. You should do like it's never these are people who will never be satisfied because capitalism never satisfies anybody unless you're stepping on somebody else. And even to those people, notice how rich people are never satisfied. They have to continue to have more and more and more of everything and make everybody else have less and less and less. So that's why people who strive to be in this mindset are just very combative when it comes to telling them that that is morally wrong, which is a fact. It's literally a fact that the way that you live your life as a capitalist is morally and ethically wrong. It's detrimental to everybody, and it's just unethical. And
I
that's the
agree. I
way.
found the article. When you're done, I found the article. But you
Okay. And when the way that these influencers right now in Dubai are acting and people are criticizing them, rightfully so, telling them that this is what you did in going to this country, in fact, is morally and ethically wrong. Like anybody even going to like Israel, morally and ethically wrong, but you're doing it for fun.
Sorry, that was correct. So Iran is mad at Israel for what's happening, which rightfully so, and
Hmm.
Dubai backs Israel because of money and gold.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, exactly. Because that's what I was trying to say in that Dubai is a, what's it called? They promote this stuff. They promote it. Um, they're promoting what's happening in Palestine. They're promoting what's happening in Sudan. They're promoting those famines, the G word. They're promoting it. And it's not just war because this is very one-sided. And that's what's happening right now. So that's just the problem is that like Iran has been one of the only countries to ever do something about it right now, which is why everybody's getting very upset. They're getting very upset. But yeah, like what's happening with these influencers, it's like they're being criticized online because people are, telling them, well, what you did to get to this country is just morally wrong. Like, that's like, visiting South Africa during apartheid and being like, "Yeah, I'm here for vacation." Like, oh, why would we ever support you? Why would we ever support you? It's like crazy. But yeah, you could talk about what that article that you found.
I'll read it really quickly and then I have to take this off the stove. Okay, so a flight chartered, this is by BBC, which is a really good news outlet.com. A flight chartered by the UK government is set to bring back some Britain standard and standard stranded in the Middle East, with more planned in the coming days. Sorry, y'all. The Foreign Office said a second government flight will depart from Oman's capital city, Muscat, on Thursday and a third later in the week. Since the war broke out between Iran and the US and Israel on Saturday, more than 130,000 Britons have registered their interest with the UK government and being helped to leave the region. And I'm just going to let that stay there because I'm not going to read the whole article. But yeah, they're trying to leave from Oman, which is one of the places. And I don't know, I think they're trying to keep it low key and not say where else they're leaving from and probably just tell the Britons. But that's a crazy thing to think about. Like the British were like, yo, we getting them out of there. The US? Nah, yeah, unfortunately, we're just gonna send some nukes over there, see how you do. That says enough. And you have a lot of Brits too, like people from the UK talking about, oh, well, you know what? Dubai is safer than the UK. Dubai is safer than the UK. And how much you want to bet we're going to see them on the flight back to Britain? How much you want to bet we're going to see them on a flight back to Britain? They being so fake and phony, bro.
Very much so. And that's why I said too, like the US is exploiting this situation just as much as these influencers are exploiting being there. And you could tell why, because a lot of them are American. But it reminds me as well about like what's happening in Israel right now, in that a lot of people who are, supposedly native Israelites are leaving Israel. Like they're taking planes because they have dual citizenship and they're coming to America, they're coming to other places because they have dual citizenship. Let that sink in. And they're going elsewhere because they don't want to be involved in this. And I also brought this up to you earlier that like this reminds me of the situation with like Hurricane Maria, when everybody was stuck. All these influencers and all these people on vacation were stuck in the Caribbean, in these resorts, and making videos about, I'm stuck here. Oh my God. Like, it's just kind of it's very ironic. It's very toned up because there are people whose houses are being destroyed, people who have been unalived in the floodings, in like the storm itself, and these influencers are there talking about how their vacation is ruined. Meanwhile, they can still return to their warm resort bed and their bed at home at the end of the week. You know, and also, like, mind you, that even sitting at that resort in the first place is kind of very tone deaf because it's like you're in a place that has essentially ruined the beaches, and prevented it from being, safer for people to experience hurricanes on islands because of the landscaping. So when they build these resorts, they're tearing down, all these natural plants and trees and mangroves that are essentially, keeping the shoreline safe, blah, 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 because they're building these artificial beaches, and because they want it to look pretty for tourists, which is why, like, most of the beaches in these countries, like especially Jamaica, PR, DR, they're not owned by the people, and they can't even use them. And that's exactly what's happening in like any place that is just tourism hungry. They will exploit everybody who is there. And Dubai is just like an interesting place because it's meant to be like that. Like it was a place built to be like that. So everybody that they have that's working for them is outsourced essentially. Nobody is native. So it's a very weird situation. I think it makes them feel justified in going to Dubai because they just don't feel like they're exploiting anybody when they really are exploiting everybody at the same time, which makes it even more ironic. So I just think it's honestly a sad thing that people want to feel sympathy, so much sympathy for these people. Cause like I even think about, like you said, the housewives supporting them and everything like that. I have never once heard a housewife speak about what is happening in the Middle East. When on earth has Candace ever been? And Candace is cute. She's always gonna be ignorant. She's rich. She grew up rich, so she's always gonna be ignorant. But when has she ever spoken about news? Like, even in America, like, she's probably spoken about Trump, because who hasn't? But like, I have never in my life, like, they do not talk about this stuff. Oh, thank you. Flower Sunday. I just think it's so silly. Like, it's not just silly, it's honestly sad. But we've done a really good job, especially in America, of making each other feel like we really need to care about these influencers. Like, that honestly is more important than real events that are happening in the world today. Real events. So it's just like bizarre. Like, it's almost like them making these videos makes it seem less real. Like, it makes this event seem like it's happening in like an echo chamber. Like, this is happening only on screen. It's only really like, oh, once these influencers come back home and they're able to come back safely, like this is just over. That's what they make it seem like when you make content like this. It makes people, in the US who don't have an education, which is most of us, feel like, once they come home, this is going to be all over. Meanwhile, the war in Iran and Iraq and in the Middle East from America has been happening since before 9/11. Before 9/11, like, that whole thing has been happening since that time. And we have ourselves unalived so many people that did not need to be because of that. And it was kind of like this whole crusade for the US, and they're still doing it to this day. Especially because it is about religion. Making us feel like pitting Christians against Muslims, whatever. But that's the whole thing, is like, they want to make it seem like this is going to be over when these influencers are home and they're safe and blah blah blah, but they're exploiting it just as much as anybody else, because you pay attention more to media than you ever do to the news. And even if you watch the news, a lot of the news is now bought out by people who are like, I read this article too the other day about how this one rich family has basically bought out almost every single news outlet in America. Like, what on earth? What on earth? Like, this is fascism. Like, we are totally entering into this fascist, like, our news is being controlled, media is controlled, what we see is controlled. So it's just like these influencers are jesters for that. They're distracting. Very distracting. So what's happening right now is just like, it's ironic. It's ironic that they would even want us to be sympathetic towards their situation, because when have they ever helped anybody here with anything?
Exactly. All I said in my, literally the post following that in my TikTok, I said, all I want you to do is give somebody a hotel room. Give a couple families a hotel room. And the fact that there's people who responded saying, I literally, in your eyes, am poor. Mind you, I'm going to Bali to, like, not tomorrow, but in a couple weeks. So poor, whatever you want to say. But it's like, you call me poor and you want me to give money in a situation where I decided to be smart and not go. So once again, when it comes to Oliver, because I know people are gonna be like, well, he went to Delhi. Point is, he did not care to not go through Qatar, because his credit card and daddy's credit card matched up with that airway, and he said, I don't care. I want to experience luxury. I don't want to take Air Canada. So many airlines you could have taken that are excellent as well. Air Canada, when I tell you I sleep on their flights, I sleep on their flights. So there's many other options that person had, but it's about his comfortability and his luxury and his credit card and daddy's credit card. So how about them apples? Don't tell me to pay. Sorry. That got me tight.
No, it's okay.
It's just insane to me to tell people who you consider poor to pay. I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, that's so evil. Eh. Like, what did I do?
Look, that's how I feel.
I'm gonna mute myself now.
Okay. But yeah, it's this has been my gripe with a lot of influencers, and we talk about how you know, even influencers, like I just think that the way social media has developed, it used to be something very kind of raw because there were no boundaries to it and who could become famous, who could become, noticed. The algorithm wasn't really a thing. It was just the internet. So things develop naturally. But as soon as an algorithm kind of developed in the internet and it became just embedded inside of propaganda by all the people who are putting their money into this algorithm, whether it's things that are racist, whether it's things that are misogynistic, whether it's just propaganda about other countries, like it's propaganda at the end of the day. And that's what social media has become. It's censored. It's,
Low
you
key,
know,
I'm thinking of deleting Instagram. I don't know. I don't know. What you're saying is so true, and I'm like, what has it done for me besides give me trauma? Oh my gosh, thank you. Who is morally responsible for the exploited? The exploiters or the exploited? Ooh, that's a good question. Do you want to answer that? Because that's
yeah,
really good.
sure. I think the thing is, I feel like everybody in this world should be morally responsible. But the problem is that, like I said earlier, maybe you weren't on this live. When I was talking about, like, for instance, global warming and pollution, and how it's made to feel like, you know, people in the lower class are supposed to be responsible, like morally responsible to do better and to clean up our own carbon footprint when rich people and corporations have been doing this the entire time and basically making it impossible for us to even do it. But they want to guilt trip us, poor people, into feeling like it's our fault. That's what I'm talking about, in that, I don't feel like, this is a class thing, in my opinion. And I feel like, there's a lot of gender war, race war things going on right now that are making it very difficult for people to realize that it's always been an issue with that. And that's kind of what it is. Like, I feel like people sometimes can't help those situations in being exploited. However, I think that education could prevent some of that from happening. I don't think all people who are exploited should have to be, And we even talked about that before when we were talking about trans rights and the queer community, and how a lot of queer people, because of our background, feel like we have to kind of exploit ourselves using, sex work and things like that to get money because of our situations. And that shouldn't be the only option for us. It shouldn't be. But at one point it almost was, you know? And I think that's kind of the issue. I think we're all kind of at a point to understand that everyone is morally responsible. However, more so for people that are at the advantage to be morally responsible, because even for like protesting, you can't expect poor people to be so willing and able to go out and protest for things when they have no money to do so and can't leave their jobs or their families. Like, your needs are, in a hierarchy, and being able to even house yourself or feed your children is more important than going to protest, even if you feel morally obligated to do so. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it depends on that hierarchy as well. Like, there should be people who take a little bit more responsibility for that, when it comes to you having the privilege to even have time to protest, you having the privilege to have money to protest, you having the privilege to help other people. And that's really what people who are rich should be doing, helping other people, but they don't. They're like the
I only
1%
know
of people
one
that
trans
could.
woman. There's one trans woman from LA, and I used to think she was crazy. And
Mm.
now I'm like, you're not crazy. You're just really amazing and rare. And basically, she is it's the girl Ma, the girl we met in Italy. She protests for everything all the
Oh,
time.
yes,
Don't know
yes,
what her
yes.
job is. She a nepo baby, but like you could tell even the friend that she was with that was rich, you
Mhm.
could tell she hated her. Like she hated her.
Yo.
It's a whole long story, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, 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 I know what you're talking about. And that's the thing is, like, there are some people who, they will live their whole life, knowing that they have the privilege to do things like that. And I respect that because it's like it's way more respectable to understand that you have privilege and to use it in a way that is helpful to other people rather than to, be ignorant to the fact that you have privilege and to do nothing because you are really the only person, like one of the only people who can do something. And it's not that nobody, even like poor people, can't do something. We all can do something. But it's about the degree to which you can. And I think that's how I'll answer your question.
I've lost the job for speaking about Black rights. I have.
Hmm.
It's true. It's a thing that happened to me. I lost the job that wasn't meant to be in, honestly, for speaking about Black rights. And it destroyed me and confused me about what I should speak about and made me think that I should be a right-wing Black person, like many right-wing Black people are. It makes you very, very mentally unwell as a Black person when there's repercussions to you speaking about the rights of your people. That's all I have to say. It
Hmm.
happens. You can lose your job. That girl
Hmm.
we just talked about, that amazing trans woman who is an activist and crazy about it, but in an amazing way. If she loses her job, doesn't matter. She's rich, right? Right?
Exactly.
But if I lose my job, it really does matter. And that's what makes Black men, I feel, so fucking racist in America. And no one understands when I talk about it. I'm like, these men are racist as fuck because they have to be to survive. It's not fun. I was about to be like that. I was about to be in a position in a job where I was going to start being racist. I was going to be misogynistic and I was going to be all types of homophobic just to keep my job. And I didn't do it, but still, like they put me in that mindset, and it was really scary. I asked my bestie, the person who's here now. I asked her, "Did I do something wrong?" I was confused by my own activism. I was confused. I was like, "Did I do something wrong?" And she had to remind me, "No, you did not. Don't start thinking that way." And it was very scary.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, like, that the society makes you feel is, like I said, it's like guilt tripping you to feel like you are not doing enough as an individual, but at the same time, if you do something, then you will be ostracized and kind of there will be consequences for standing up for something. And that's why a lot of people, especially people who need jobs to survive, which is like 90% of us, if not more, they don't speak up because they are afraid of losing something. They're willing to put themselves through something that's abnormal, honestly. Like, we shouldn't be going through this stuff, but they're willing to put themselves through that just to survive. And so, most people who even have kids, like, they're putting them first rather than their own rights. And think about that. That shouldn't even be a question. It shouldn't even be an option that we have to think about, disgracing yourself and like going against everything that you believe in just to keep a job. But people do it, and that causes real trauma. That causes real issues. It makes some people really become that way, and they start thinking that way because they think that that's survival is how they should be. Like, nobody should just be surviving, you know?
I agree, and that has been my biggest trigger. And I do want to go to therapy for of interracial couples and what I see. I'm an activist, of course. It's not like I just hate interracial couples when it comes to Black men and white women or whatever race. No, I started dating as a Black woman, and I started seeing that I was not being chosen or picked because I was not going to help them secure their insecurities of being a Black man. And not all men, but a majority of them, which is a very big problem. And I started developing a fear of it. Like I was like, oh my God, like, do I have to be, heavy set, a big woman and be white to want to be with a Black man, which is what we see on media. We see a lot of obese, white women or obese Asian or Spanish women with Black men on media. And I started to feel like, oh my gosh, like, is something wrong with my body? Like Black men don't like it. And I realized that no, it's not even about your body. It's about the fact that you are not insecure. You are not going to secure their themselves with your insecurity. You're not going to give them any type of let me hit stuff, any type of credit for being a racist black man. You're not going to tell them your hair is ugly, I'm going to fix it with my white self. You're not going to tell them that your whiteness is going to fix their children. You're not going to tell them anything they want to hear because they're dealing with America's racism so bad, so badly. They're not handling it well. But shout out to a lot of black men from Chicago. Y'all do so well when it comes to picking black women. I love y'all. But in a lot of the southern places, not too great. And I developed a strange mind. I developed a mind of like, am I wrong as a black woman? Like what's wrong? I started thinking there was something wrong with me because I kept seeing this pattern of black men who were with obese white women in the South. And I was like, what's going on? And then the pattern of them, they were a bum. They were a bum. They were belligerent. They were a bigot. They were evil. They were nasty. They stank. Like they were nasty black men. And I was just like, I was disappointed. I was disappointed. All love should be accepted, but when in America, it's the same problem of obesity and being white because you think that's going to help you get somewhere or going to help you from the police, when at the end of the day, they're just going to call the cops on you anyway, which has happened several times. So you see these whitewashed black men who want to act like they made a better decision for themselves when it came to dating because they didn't date a black person. And it's a lot. It's been so that's why I took a break from dating because I was like, I'm seeing what's happening with the economy and black men, and I feel empathy, but I'm not going to let you put me down. We're not doing that because your girl's too sexy, too beautiful to be wasting her time. I'm not doing that. So yeah, it's definitely a lot when it comes to economics and racism. Like it'll start to make you feel as a black person that you are in the wrong. You see what happens because you didn't choose a white person. Now you're facing discrimination. Now everybody's picking on your kid. Everybody like they try to make you feel because you decided to choose love for your black ass, it's your fault. Everything happening to you is your fault. And imagine any other race, Palestinian, whatever. They're like, because you chose yourself, now we as white people are going to bully you and blame you because you could have fixed it by being with a white person. And that has hurt my heart for a couple of years now. I've learned. And I don't like seeing obesity. I don't like seeing black men, feel that they need to, be with a white person to be protected. It hasn't made me happy, so it hasn't made me want to date. Honestly, it's made me feel somewhat insecure, and I'm not gonna lie about that. It doesn't feel. It's like a sadness, insecurity. Not really like I know I'm pretty, but it's like I'm just sad for a lot of black men in America, and I feel like their minds are getting messed up because of what's happening with supremacy, the Trump as well. It's getting bad.
Yeah, I agree with what you had to say. And I think that all this stuff, even though it seems not related, is very interrelated. Um, in just the way that, like, government has a really good way of like pitting people against each other because division makes it very hard for people to ever come together against something. So that's really like I feel like where this whole influencer thing, like a lesson should be learned is that in doing all this stuff, like we're really not we're thinking more about these people than what the government is actually doing. And I think that's a problem. That's a really big problem, you know?
I agree. The UK is getting their people out of there quick. They say, you know what? We know y'all pay a lot of money, so guess what? And it's like, the US, we pay so much money and they still don't care. Like, it does hurt me when I when I travel and the only people I see traveling are black men with white women. Why do y'all think that is? I see beautiful black couples and I get so excited, but majority of the time it's a black man that's mooching off of a white woman with daddy's credit card. Do y'all think that makes me feel good as a black woman when it comes to dating? So now we're getting into the hashtag single. Yeah, like a lot of this racial stuff has affected me when it comes to dating, and I freaking am annoyed because I'm like, it shouldn't have. Like, I should still be same old confident, big booty, sexy girl, but it don't feel good when you see black men are picking people because they're scared of racism and they want to fix their ugliness, which is blackness to them because white people have made them feel that way and because they don't want to listen to a woman. They don't want to listen, and because they also want to slap somebody around. That's another aspect of this. Um, you're not gonna do that over here, but it's sad. That's why, like, I feel like I missed my chance when it came to dating. I don't know, like, I don't know. I feel like I missed my chance when it came to like thinking if I was gonna be married someday. I feel like it's too late. People are fucked.
I mean, people have always been fucked. Doesn't mean you missed your chance.
Black love was way better back then, though. Way fucking better. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know
I
what's
do think
happening
though
right
that the
now.
way that media portrays the same thing is very different. That's really what the issue is, in my opinion.
Mm.
The way that people have portrayed things is different.
What you mean?
Because back then, like the media that, when we say black people could put out, um, had to be just black cast. It had to be that because it was more segregated. And when people realized
What
that,
do you mean? So
you
you're
know,
saying now they're happy that
letting
they could be with white women? I'm confused.
no, listen to me. Like integration historically wasn't going to be a thing, but it became a thing because they realized that minorities were stronger together than they were when they were being kind of forced to be apart. So that's why integration was even a conversation historically. Like, the government realized that by making people, kind of divided and feeding them propaganda that, about being with white partners, about integration being positive and racism is gone, which it isn't, but like, making people feel that way and kind of gaslighting them about their experience with racism makes people divided. It makes people, they're able to control the narrative more when they could do that, essentially. Which is why, a lot of people say integration was dangerous because it was never really done in a way that was in the mind of actually keeping people equal. It was about keeping people apart. Um, so
But they don't use black women to do it. They use black men, and I find that very sad and interesting, but sad. Like
be
you could literally
yeah.
look up a game commercial right now, and I'm telling you right now, if you see a black guy, he's with the white person. Why?
And
He's
I
with a
think
light
the
skinned
reason
person.
why that
Why?
black
It's
men
never.
are
It's
used.
besides just race. It's sex as well. Like black women
Mhm.
are at such a disadvantage when it comes to dating, and I don't want to even say that. I don't want to say that. That's why I love watching Married to Medicine. No lie, because I see such beautiful black couples. And I'm like, it can still happen. It can still happen.
Well, it's still a
I don't
thing,
know.
but that's what I'm trying to say is media is not controlled in the same way it was before. It was before about making things separate, but when you try to make things equal, you still have to make people feel less than because it's never about making people feel equal. Like representation does not come freely, which is why like, you notice that there always has to be a white person in something if it's made by white
No,
people.
don't just say person. It's a white woman and a
I know,
black
but
guy.
even though in the case though, it's still like the opposite way as well. When they have a black woman, they want to still insert white men in the conversation, or even like queer couples, they want to insert white people regardless. That's why I say people. And I do think though that men are you like black men are used more often in the way that they're fetishized, but also because of the fact that it's like men have more mobility in society regardless of them being black or white. They do. Like women are always going to be at a disadvantage no matter what race you are. So that just makes it, worse. Um, but that's my point is that like, even with these shows like on Netflix, I feel like is a prime example because representation there does not come freely. Like, they often have, biracial kids. They have to have some kind of thing because they're not happy with just somebody just being black. They're not. Maybe they used to be with certain shows, but, like, as it's been more their media has been more money hungry and their money is coming from a certain place, like, they just don't they don't wanna see that representation. Only in, like, films that like, you can tell when a film was made by a black person, let me say, or has black people in the room for representation when it comes to production. And that goes, like, not just for black people, but, like, any film. Like, you can tell when a film is made by a minority for a minority audience. You know what I'm saying? Or let me not even say minority, but like, people of color. Like you can tell that. You can. Because it's like the cast is different, the writing is different. Like these people feel way more authentic. And it's actually about an experience rather than like just the trauma of being a person of color. Like, people are actually fleshed out and not just an added afterthought of like, yeah, we'll just throw this person in here. We don't have to really write a storyline from them. Let's just make them this. Let's just make them that. Which is what happened all the time, and it still happens today, you know? Um, because those characters shouldn't be disposable.
I'm hoping that we get to a point in society where I can have the ability to not to look at a black man and not know that he has a white partner and he hates himself. And the fact that we as people have the ability to know that black men don't date black women by just looking at them and hearing their voice is so fucking sad. That shit is sad as fuck. Because for a black girl, it's so hard to figure out if they do or they don't. But then for a black man, it's so easy, and that makes me sad, and that makes me single. So yeah, I'd say yeah, I'm open to dating other races, but I don't want to be open just because black men in America are failures.
Mm. Right. Yeah. I think though it is important though to understand that media itself is very like, while it does have an impact, like you said, like even going to different places and traveling to see that people are not always that, like it does. I feel like that does help. And not everybody gets to leave their state and go see something else, you know? Um which is why I think that people start to feel so trapped because it's like you don't get to see anything else outside of like what you're just shown. You know, you're purposely put in an echo chamber. And that was like me reading this article about like how living in America, like, you know, or like any place really, but like especially America, where our racial issues are so historical and embedded in our society. It's like being in psychosis, like it makes you fucking crazy because you were constantly gaslit to think that something isn't happening when it is happening in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I feel. When I got fired from that job for posting things about being a black woman and being bullied, it fucked me up. It did fuck me up. Like it still fucks me up to this day. Um, Sad, but I can't control it. What people do. It's just more of the fact that like I went through life like, oh, I'm a black girl and I love being myself. And people in high school told me like, yes, keep doing that, be that. And then you get to work and they're like, we can't have a black girl that is happy with being black. That is a HR violation. What? And then I notice all the black people who hate themselves, they get pats on the back. And when I mean hate yourself, I mean you put a wig on, you praise white people, you praise whiteness, you put contacts in, you praise whiteness in every aspect, and they want to keep you as a black coworker. So that's what I mean by yeah, this is a pressure for a lot of black men because I think that men are not that great. To just date white when you have people like this, when you have people that are, pressuring you and making you feel like you should date white people. It's not easy. I will say it's not easy, but hey, can't control anybody.
Wait, did you put your food in the oven?
I did. I just put it in. I'll show you guys it.
Yeah, can we get a food reveal? Ooh.
Ta-da! Those are my stuffed shells, spinach, Parmesan,
Wait, how was
mozzarella
the
on top.
wine?
Not the healthiest, but huh?
How was the wine?
It was good. It boiled down, so we're safe. We're safe.
Oh, okay. Did you taste it?
I didn't taste it. I smelt good, so we're hoping it tastes good. I didn't put any salt and pepper in it, so
Did you use the
we'll see
small
what
bottles
happens.
for the wine?
Huh?
Did you use the small bottle for the wine?
Yeah, I used a small one, and it settled
Okay,
down pretty good.
that's funny.
It smells really good in here. I wish you were here. You would have loved this. But
Yeah, I'm
and then
coming.
the
I'm
last thing
coming soon.
we'll talk about fake friends. People are so fake and annoying. I don't know. What is your advice on what to do for somebody who you think doesn't like you, and you somebody who you know doesn't like you, but is still following you?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. It depends on how close I am to that person. Because if I'm just like, I've just been a mutual and I've only ever met them once. I sometimes I'll just go through my shit and like get rid of people because I don't really care too much, I guess. But I do think that if I'm trying to actively be friends with somebody, other than talk to people, yeah, I don't know. Usually I feel like I just talk to people first, but there's some people like recently, for instance, who like, like say like I go somewhere and like they see me on somebody else's story, they'll follow me, and then I'm just like, do you just want me as a follower? That shit kind of gets weird to me. And so like certain people, I'm like, I don't really want to accept. I don't really want to accept this because like I hate that like it becomes something that kind of snowballs. Like you start accepting like people's following and shit like that, and it goes back and forth, and then it just becomes like, oh, everybody is just mutually stalking each other, and I think it's so weird. So I don't know. When it comes to men, though, I feel like I'm harsher because, like, men usually follow for a very specific reason. And so, like, I'll make people unfollow and I'll just be like, I use this app to talk to people and not just be unsocial. Like, this is social media. If we're on here, I'm going to, like, block you or make you unfollow me because you're just not talking. Like, this is weird. I don't want to use this app to do that. Like, you know? Um, when it comes to women, I think I'm different because I don't know. Most of the women that I have for now are fine. I think some people are dealing with their own thing. I don't really take it personal. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Certain people I'll talk to them. It depends on the person because I don't know.
I agree. For me, it's like coworkers. That's what I was talking about. Not even like the issue we know, like me and you,
It's
but
what?
like it was coworkers. For me, it was coworkers. I was
Oh,
thinking about. I
coworkers.
was like,
Yeah, coworkers are
yeah, it wasn't
harsh.
about. I know you were thinking about like our best friends. Now it wasn't about them, but it
No,
was like
yeah,
the coworkers thing. I was like,
because
I don't even
coworkers
know.
are hard. I mean, I don't have any coworkers on my account except one person,
I know, and
but
I liked her, but I did get
yeah,
mad at
except
her.
one
So it's so
person, but like
complicated.
we're chill even if we don't talk because we don't talk like online. We talk in person because I see them all the time. But the way that you see your coworkers is differently than me, so I think that it's hard.
Yeah,
But I don't think that everybody is fake just because they don't talk all the time per se. Like some people I don't talk to at all, and then I could like catch back up with them and be really chill with them in like 5 seconds if I wanted to. And like those are the kind of friendships I kind of like, where they're like certain people are low maintenance and certain people are high maintenance friends. Everybody's different. Like you're a high maintenance friend, and then I have friends that are low maintenance who like I don't talk to for like months, and then we could talk and have like an hour, 2 hour conversation. Like my one friend from like the UK, like we didn't talk for like months, and then we spoke on the phone for like 3 hours. Like people like that. So it depends, and I think it's just like if you're say like you're trying to constantly have a conversation with somebody and they just don't they give you an energy like they just don't want to talk or whatever. It's sometimes I'll just disengage from that, but sometimes people do have shit going on in their life they just don't talk about, and that's okay. Not everybody's perfect, but it depends honestly on your gut feeling and how you feel about somebody if they're doing something malicious or blah blah blah, because people are weird. Like they'll go on social media and they'll look at shit, but they're not that doesn't necessarily mean that they will respond or owe anybody a response. I get that. I do the same shit. But like some people don't have the social battery to respond to people, but going online is kind of something we all do. That's just supposed to relieve stress but often doesn't. So it's like one of those things that's weird. And I think communicating sometimes has been really weird with people.
basically, it's a situation where there's somebody that is someone that I know doesn't like me, and I unfollowed them and made them unfollow me, but they're still following me, and another coworker, and I'm just like,
Wait, say that one more
I
time?
like them though, but it's a situation where there's someone I don't like and that doesn't like me, and I unfollow them. They were a coworker, but they associate with that person very closely. The person that doesn't like me, but we
Uh-huh.
haven't unfollowed each other. But the fact that I even have to go look to see if you unfollowed me just feels like red flags. Like, why am I even looking? That means we don't have a real connection.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Cause that's the thing is though, like, I feel like it's
Why am
hard,
I
like,
worried about it? You know what I mean? Like,
in that job, like, are you talking about the girl with the K?
no, I'm
Like,
talking about the guy, the gay guy.
oh, the guy.
There's another gay guy that I love so much, and I'm like, but he literally just went on vacation with him,
Mm.
and they took pictures and stuff, and I was like, that feels purposeful.
Well, it could or it couldn't. Like, here's the thing is it's weird with certain people is, like, sometimes you would literally never know if they'd ever even
But
spoken about you.
that person who is I'm still following that I'm cool with, they probably don't even know that, as in, they don't know that
Yes.
we have such a bad issue. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Exactly,
Like,
that's what I'm trying to
you don't
say.
know whose side that they even took if something was said. You
Yes,
know that they
yes.
would take that person's side at the moment, but
No, I understand what you're saying. But
yeah,
that's also what I'm trying to say is that, like, yeah. But that's the thing too, like, I know who you're talking about. And I mean, they
yeah.
seem nice. I don't think they're a malicious person. Like,
It's a
if like,
different
say
person. I literally
you
gave him a
like
ride home. He's so sweet.
yeah, like, say you in the future ever, like, had a fight with them and talked about what happened and they decide to not take your side, that would be a different story. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? They probably honestly have no idea that anything is fucking happening,
I agree.
you know? That's
I just feel
usually
like
what
I
it is.
know people. It's happened before. Remember when
Yeah,
I was at that other place?
people
I was
can
at
be
that other
malicious, yeah.
place, and literally, like, my friend who was there before I got fired and kicked out of there took a picture with the enemies, the ops, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, what?" Like, I was so
Yeah,
confused.
people can be malicious, for sure.
But
But,
yeah, I think we're gonna do a peace out because we gotta go.
true. True,
But
true. Yeah.
thank you everyone, and I do appreciate. I don't know how to say her name, but for giving money, thank you. I appreciate it so much. That helps a lot. I'm a small content creator, so I don't get much. And I do appreciate that you donated something to the channel. Thank you.
Yippee!
Not yippee. Thank you, and thank you for asking a good question. Some people donate and they ask
Mhm.
stupid stuff, so
They'll be
I
like,
do
"Hi,
appreciate
I
that, and it
live
made me
in New
think, and
Jersey."
yeah, it was good. But we're gonna go now. We're gonna try to have more debates like this again. But bye, y'all. Ooh, not the oil popping. Bye. Well, I'll show you the last thing I'm cooking. Sausage.
Mm.
This is the sausage. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do more cooking videos. I'll be home more. Bye,
Bye.
y'all.